I hate this mirror. I've actually had it for a few years. I found it on the streets in Echo Park and just kind of kept it ever since. But let's be real, it's pretty ugly. I mean, these tiles, they're not even real. They're like plastic. But yeah, it's like some mass-produced bullshit. I feel like this is usually when people will just throw out the thing and then buy something new to replace it that matches their vibe and aesthetic more. But the thing is, I'm an artist, so I'm just gonna rework it. Here's the game plan. Basically, I'm just gonna find a way to take off the fake plastic tiles on here. I'm probably just gonna have to get a flathead screwdriver and just sort of yank them all out. And then after that, I make 20 new tiles to replace them, glue those tiles back into the frame, and then probably paint the edges a different color to match the new aesthetic. So, doesn't sound too hard in theory, but like with everything else, I won't know until I try. The other day, I already cut out the template that I'm going to use to create the tiles, and then I created some of these paper templates from that template and already drew out some compositions that I want to maybe follow. Maybe. We'll see. I think at the end of the day, I'm just going to wing it once I'm in the studio. But just having a basic idea of where I want the angles to land on the square composition is probably not a bad idea to start with. So we're just gonna get started. We're gonna go into the studio today and just start with the first batch. I don't think we're gonna make all 20 today just because I don't think I can actually realistically do that. So we're gonna split it in half. So we're gonna do 10 tiles first and then the other 10 later. And also, I have a feeling that not all 20 tiles are going to make it, so we probably are going to want to make a few extra just in case. Back home, and now I'm gonna see if the tiles that I brought back are gonna fit in the mirror. I have a feeling that they're not going to. It seems kind of big. Yeah, no, it's too big. Okay, well, I guess now I just have a bunch of these. When I got there, I forgot to bring my template. So I basically had to try to remember the measurements, measure it with the ruler that they had there. Yeah, it ended up being too big. Decided to just fire it anyways because I wanted to see how much the shrinkage was going to be. It wasn't that much. Yeah. Now I'm a little worried that even the ones that I made from the right template are still a little big because I accounted for a 10% shrinkage and I did the math and made the template off of the math for that. But I think my math was off maybe because it still seems too big. So I think I'm just gonna eyeball it. But if it ends up shrinking more than I want and ends up smaller than the tiles that are already there, I still think that could work. A lot of mistakes, but I feel like I learned from it and I've started to slow down and focus more on the steps of the process to avoid this. But now I'm like facing something kind of different. Now it's kind of more about just, do you have all your ducks in a row? Like, are you prepared for the day? A little all over the place. I just need to get a little bit more organized, I think. Just got back from the studio. I actually did a lot today. I wasn't planning on staying there for as long as I was. I was there for like 6 hours. Left the house, it was all nice and sunny, but it's San Francisco, so now it's really fucking cold. I did get a lot done today, so I feel good. I will have all 20 for the mirror, and I can finally get started plucking these guys out and then just putting the nice ones in. I'm so excited. Putting the nice ones in. All right, let's get started. Oh, I'm really scared. I probably should take the mirror off, huh? It's really heavy. Times like these are the only time I ever wish I had a boyfriend. Okay. vacuum as I go. So I thought I'd end this video by going a little deeper into why I resonate with the black and white swan symbology. One book in particular inspired me to commit to embracing a more alternative lifestyle, and that's Black Swans by Eve Babbitt's. Of the book, black swans represent the chaos that is lurking beneath LA's glamorous facade. They're exotic, unnatural. The book ends with a rather surreal image. At a wedding, a group of wedding guests go down to the pond to admire the black swans that are there. But the black swans end up chasing them off, except one who falls because she trips on her high heels, and it turns out to be the bride, specifically attacking her dress, tearing it. LA is essentially one big dry riverbed. The swans, who are normally associated with water, are trapped in this artificial wasteland, much like how the characters in the book are trapped in cycles of artifice. The wedding dress can represent the costumes that women don to survive a city built on fantasy. It represents following the script, positioning marriage as the final draft of a woman's life. And when the swans tear it, just as the fabric is being destroyed, so is her armor. Now she's exposed, less valuable. The bride's dress is the ultimate symbol of femininity, purity, compliance, and the performance of forever. But the black swans, wild and untamed, descend like a reckoning. Their attack is both grotesque and poetic, a reminder that no fantasy lasts. The white swans are the traditional women, conservative in nature, who follow the script and act in the way that society encourages. But the black swans are the dangerous women, artists, seductresses, burnouts, who rewrite the rules. They're allegorical. Their power comes from exposing the game. So understanding this, their attack reads like an act of violence on women who traded their agency for security. The bride, a white swan, is static, frozen in her role, while the black swans undermine the performance of the bride. But here's the twist. Notice the setting. The swans are in Los Angeles, which again is essentially one big dry riverbed, a place where water, which is representative of life, freedom, should be, but isn't. Even the black swans are stuck in LA's artifice. They're exotic, but caged by the city's illusions just like anyone else. And this is just like the artists who think they're free, but are still defined by the system they seemingly reject. This suggests that the two types of women are actually not so separate. The black swans
need the white swans to rebel against, and the white swans need the black swans to feel superior to. The white swan thinks she's real. The black swan knows she's performing. Or maybe it's the black swan that thinks she's real and the white swan that knows she's performing. But either way, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, they're both just birds in the same riverbed, waiting for water that never comes. But yeah, I just think as an artist, we're forgetting the most important thing about being an artist, and really the only thing that actually makes us valuable to society, and that's our agency. Our ability to think critically and challenge the systems that were designed to reject us unless we can serve them in the exact way that they need us to in the moment. Artists were the original activist, but nowadays, art through activism feels compromised. Now we're conditioned to believe being an artist is all about marketing and being on brand, hustle culture, and honestly, a shit ton of people pleasing. But what is the point of being an artist if it costs you your integrity, when our integrity is the whole damn point?